Hi, it's Sam. Hello, we are on week 17, I think. And today we're going to have a go at doing a whole paper. Don't worry, you're going to be guided through it step by step. So we are going to be doing questions 1 to 4, and there's going to be a video on each question. And on those videos, I'm going to run through an example of how to answer each question. And the examples are going to be on Boy Lost, and I can't believe my son's a year old already. So the one about toddlers and a little boy playing with boats. The one we did in week 14. So you'll need to make sure you've read that. You should have done already. And then the assignments themselves will be on schools and homework, which we haven't read yet. They are in your handbook towards the bottom, and I put them in this week's lesson as well. So those texts are about school, different approaches to schooling and homework and schooling. And this is a picture of a Victorian schoolroom to get you going, a quite posh-ish one. It's a boarding school, which is what our text is going to be about today. I'm not sure what these boys are doing, but in the thing you're going to be reading, the boys are going to be writing letters home, which is something you did when you were in boarding school. And I think the schoolmasters used to sneakily read the letters to say you weren't saying anything mean about them. So this little kid in the corner here is wearing what is known as a dunce's cap. So believe it or not, these were still being used when I was at the school. So if you were being what the teacher thought to be particularly stupid or not getting something, they would make you stand in a corner with a hat on. Oh dear. Anyway, things have changed, thankfully. So that's a Victorian schoolroom. This is what the text looks like in the handbook. Source A is from the Observer newspaper by journalist Jay Rayner. That's about him trying to do his son's homework. And source B is a bit annoying because source B has actually got 2 letters. Normally you only have 1 piece of writing in source B, but they've thrown in a curveball and given us 2 this time. The first letter is from a young boy called Henry writing to his father. So Henry's living far away from home at boarding school. And the second letter is from the boy's father to a family friend asking him to investigate the problem. So in this letter, Henry is kind of complaining about the school. And in this letter, his father is writing to a friend to try and sort out this problem that his son is having at school. So the first thing you'll need to do, of course, is read both texts on schools and homework. So make sure you've read those. If you've got any questions, if you don't understand anything about those texts, please put your questions in the chat room. Don't feel I should know this, because if you don't know it, lots of other people won't know it, and they'll be really pleased that you've asked the question. So do start to put any questions in there if you've got any, or ask me and Jill privately if you want to. And then start to complete the assignments 1 to 4. As I said, there's a video for each question to help you along, not for question 1, because that's just true or false. Try and time yourself on each question. Notice how long you're taking. Remember, you're roughly working towards 1 mark per minute, plus 15 minutes reading time. So you're giving yourself 15 minutes to read and then working at roughly a mark a minute. So question 2 is worth 8 marks. So you're looking at spending about 8 to 10 minutes on it. Don't worry, obviously I think you're going to go over today because it's still quite early days, but bear that in mind, because it kind of affects how long your answer is going to be. There's only so much you can write in 8 minutes. So try and bear that in mind, because I know a lot of you like to write these big introductions explaining what you're going to be writing and then summarising it afterwards. There simply isn't time for that in the exam. You need to get straight down to the things that you're being given marks for. So I hope that was helpful. I'm looking forward to reading. Well, Julia and I are both looking forward to reading your work. Next week, there will be an assessment. Not entirely sure how that's going to work at the moment, but please be prepared. Have a read over your notes. Really importantly, have a read over the marks that Julia and I have given you. What have we said where you need to improve? Really study that, because that's your best ammunition, I suppose, for doing well in this exam. Good luck, and just ask away.